where they are okay with me going out and they don't care because they are secure in themselves. But it's also like,
I mean, they're fucking other girls, beyond.
I like to do those things.
Yeah, it's
So
fine.
what?
Chris, chill it this way. All right.
I was gonna say I'd further explain because it's like that is a great example of
Secure
me going
themselves.
out.
All
Yeah.
right. What about you?
Loyalty. Like, you gotta be loyal. That's the only way I'm submitting.
Okay, and in what way? Are we talking through sexuality, through protecting you, through which way?
Well, I would say you gotta be like exclusively with me. So I guess that is sexuality.
Damn.
If you're loyal to me, I'll take that over anything. I'm submitting to that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, interesting. All right, what about you?
You gotta put up with me.
Yeah,
I believe
She's
her.
honest.
Yeah, I believe her, bro.
that's a lot,
She's
man.
honest. All right, what about you?
I'd be up 2 bands,
you?
though. 2K.
I would say like vision and purpose. Like I have to like where you're trying to lead me and feel like you can execute it well, competently, like taking us to.
So similar to her? All right, can they be ugly and short and just be competent and be good?
Ugly and short.
Yeah, not necessarily handsome, but
Yeah.
they're competent and a good leader. They're confident. Will you take that?
No.
Okay, so looks are the main factor.
Why would
then.
you go for ugly and short and ability to lead if you could have handsome and tall and ability to lead?
Well, we're talking about the most important component, right? So
Most
we mean
important.
like the thing that is like what's required.
Yeah. You got 2 Lambos.
I think attraction plays a big
3.
part. Like what you were saying, like a lot of the ladies, you know, are giving these answers after these other things are already assumed.
So for you,
and
looks is more important than competency.
yeah, looks are important.
Okay, so you did the same thing. You assumed attraction. That's
Yes.
fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because whenever I ask women this question, they always assume attraction, and then they
Yes.
kind of assume that he's already handsome, and then go from there and build from there.
Yeah.
But you know, I think that's disingenuous because the majority of the male population is not attractive to the majority of the female population. Like if 10 guys approached you, what? You guys probably reject 9 out of 10 of them easily. Maybe 1 you might give your number, 2 when you're out and about.
I don't think looks should personally be the top of your list because, you know, we're all going to get old and we're going to, you know, when you age, you know.
How old are you again?
I'm 27.
Would you be okay with an ugly man that's loyal?
Oh, my baby daddy's ugly. I like ugly niggas. I'm not even going to hold you. I like my man ugly.
Okay. So what was redeeming about him then if he was ugly? Why'd you stay with him for so long?
He was very smart, so he taught me a lot. Like my entrepreneur type of
What's his
situation.
profession?
So he owned like a bunch of like trucking and stuff. So I was like, I don't want to work the 9 to 5. So I was looking at him, and that's what basically made me want to go into like real estate and other stuff like
Interesting.
Okay. All right.
He was a
And
mentor.
then the I guess what made you leave him was because he was cheating.
that. Yeah.
Damn, he was ugly too?
Shit happens.
Damn, bro, cheat on my
No, he
ugly
started
nigga?
getting his money up, so these bitches was like, let me pop that
Well,
for him.
Hey.
Ugly niggas are the best cheaters. You know why?
Because you wouldn't think
You don't say
it.
Chris
Yeah,
knows.
yeah, Chris knows.
Chris knows.
All right, Lambo in Paris.
Well, guess what? I like ugly men, so
Okay, Chris.
All right,
that is just that.
You got it, Chris.
Yeah, keyword. She likes ugly men that have money.
Hey,
Yeah.
I could teach a man how to make money.
How?
He has money already.
I will throw his ass in real estate school, honey. You gonna make some money today.
So someone else
I
teaching
mean, I'll talk tomorrow, man.
You know, that sounds good on paper, but like what I've realized was your guy a millionaire? Your ex?
No.
He wasn't. Was he
Getting there?
Roughly, what was he earning per year? Roughly.
So he had a really gambling problem. So he would go play baccarat and he could make $200K in one day.
Okay,
So-
but what was he earning? Like
job wise, like a good like $500K a year.
okay,
Yeah.
so he's in the 1% earners. What I've noticed with women, especially as they get older and they have kids, they can't go backwards socioeconomically. So in other words, the next guy you deal with is probably gonna have to make at least $500K, if not better.
Well, I wouldn't look at it that way because I don't want to get with somebody about like, you know, I don't want to get with you because of your money. Like I'm straight.
Bro, stop the cap, bro.
Yo,
Well-
who said I'm capping?
You're capping, bro.
Chris.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I think in
Yo,
her
the
mind,
only
Did
ugly
you
person
forget
here
that
is
this
talking
girl
shit.
said that she owns six properties?
They said it. I didn't say it. They that insane?
Hey, listen. All right.
No, I understand that she has that.
You get one
she has
chance.
that. She has that property, and that's precisely why I'm saying she can't go backwards. So what I've realized with women, right? Okay, let me ask you this, then, so it makes more sense. As you've gotten older, have your standards went up in men? In other words, would you tolerate some of the stuff that you tolerated when you were 22 versus 32?
No.
Yeah, well, no,
right?
No, but I can definitely say I've regressed a couple times. But typically, like generally speaking, to answer the question, yes, I would say yes.
So your standards have increased as you've aged, right? you have
100%.
learned more about what you don't like.
Yes.
So you have a higher standard.
Yes.
Okay. So what I've realized is as women age and they earn more money, because typically as you age, you typically earn more money, right? Your standards go up alongside it. And the problem with women is when you guys make more money and become wiser, you increase your standards.
Problem? Okay.
Well, I'll tell you why it's a problem. As you age and make more money, doors close. So men that you might have found attractive and compatible mate 10 years prior no longer qualify.
I mean, I guess you could say so.
You said it yourself. You won't tolerate men that you might have tolerated 10 years prior, right?
Yeah, no, but I think it was more an intangible. My non-negotiables are more intangible. It's not more so financial, or like tangible things.
But you did mention earlier that their finances directly plays into their character and the way that they behave a lot of the times.
No, I said it can.
It can.
I've experienced both extremes, right?
Yeah.
That's why I said I can't say that my experience is the benchmark.
Yeah.
Like if I had only ever dated abusive men or broke men and they were abusive, then I could say that. But I've also dated men who are wealthy or at the very least comfortable.
Yep.
And they are also abusive.
Yep. But which abuse was worse, from the poor guy or from the guy that had money? Which abuse was worse in your opinion?
Jeez. I can't really equate abuse. I'm not gonna sit here and equate abuse because
what hurt more?
Yeah, what was more? Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I can't equate abuse because mental abuse is very painful and takes a very long time to heal from, and physical abuse is dangerous and very painful in the moment.
Were they both physically abusive? Or
No.
only one?
No, one was
The broke guy?
physically.
What hurt more?
That's what I'm saying. I can't equate the.
Okay.
Well,
you get what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
I
like
think tangibly
physically
speaking, I
like-
would argue the physically the one that's more physical.
Yeah, no, tangibly yes, but I'm saying like the physical abuse I've more or less healed from.
Well,
the emotional and
but here's the
mental
thing.
abuse I haven't.
The men that have the money have more to lose, so that kind of keeps them in check a little bit, even though they might still be more negative with the, verbal abuse or whatever. When you have money, you typically tend to be a bit more that's how you earn the money, by being more cautious, not being an idiot. So the guy that had less money, he was able to go ahead and, he had less to lose. But the point I'm trying to make is to bring this all full circle is, I know you're saying like money doesn't matter, but what I've noticed with women is that you guys are very good at like, I have a phrase. I say all women are gold diggers. Some are just better at hiding the shovel. Like all of you guys are vested and interested in a man's capacity are gold diggers. Some are just better at hiding the shovel. Like all of you guys are vested and interested in a man's capacity to earn. You might conceal it in things like competency or be on the up and up and be loyal or, be secure in himself. But a lot of times this ties always back to financial capabilities.
Can I ask you a question?
Or being ambitious. That's another good one that women like to use. Go ahead.
Would you be with a broke girl?
Yes.
I think that
Faithfully.
I wouldn't be faithful to any girl because men naturally aren't faithful.
How dare you?
Jesus Christ.
But to answer your question, her financial capacity has absolutely nothing to do with my views on monogamy.
So you're not a monogamist. Is that what that is? You're just not.
I'm not.
So you're a polygamist.
Yes.
So can you be ethically
Yeah, I think if you're honest with a girl and you
No, I'm
tell her
talking
what
about
it
you
is-
personally. Of course you can be ethically like a polygamist, right? But I'm just saying like you personally.
He is.
Can you?
Yes,
Well, if you're ethically a polygamist, then you wouldn't be cheating. That's not
But he's
ethical.
not cheating because he's telling them.
Yeah, I
upfront.
tell them what it is up front.
So then you're not cheating. That's not cheating.
So you're never faithful? You're just
No, he's a
I'm not
polygamist.
in an
That's
open
not the same thing.
relationship?
Isn't, like,
I
polygamy
don't.
religion?
Okay.
No.
No.
So I
it's like
don't.
multiple
My
people.
thing is I don't
Yeah.
believe in monogamy, and I'm outward about it and honest about it. I think the difference between me and other guys is like they might not express that. They might tell you I'm only gonna love you and be with you. Right, and that's a strategy. A lot of guys do that to kind of sell the dream, but I don't like that because it creates headaches
No,
later
he's a
on.
polygamist.
In an
That's
open
not the same thing.
relationship?
Isn't, like,
I don't.
religion?
Okay.
No.
No.
So I
it's like
don't.
multiple
My thing
people.
is I don't
Yeah.
believe in monogamy, and I'm outward about it and honest about it. I think the difference between me and other guys is like they might not express that. They might tell you, "I'm only gonna love you and be with you." Right, and that's a strategy. A lot of guys do that to kind of sell the dream, but I don't like that because it creates headaches later on.
Wait,
So
you think men are not going to cheat on you?
No, I'm trying to figure out. No. Everybody,
you're
clearly,
mad.
I got cheated on. Didn't we
Yup.
speak about this earlier?
Yeah.
Okay, but anyways.
and a
Nobody
woman's
safe.
No, but I'm saying you would never be faithful. Like, how about if you have a wife, you're fucking 40, right? You have a wife with
Bruh.
kids in the house. Y'all live together. You never gonna be faithful. You just gonna keep fucking bitches.
I mean,
Well, I mean, I don't know what I'll be thinking at 40, but what I will say is that I will always reserve the right to be able to do it. Like, I'm a firm believer that, men should reach a certain level where they can do what they want and not necessarily be beholden to what their wife thinks. I don't think your wife should be telling you anything as a man. You should be dictating everything, and it's your way or the highway. The man is the leader, and he's the authority, and that's how it goes.
Oh, you're one of those.
So
Okay, I see what's going on
you
here.
wouldn't imagine yourself getting married?
I mean, in the future,
So
yeah.
you would let your wife
but-
cheat on you?
No. No.
This is not a two-way street.
bless you.
Okay, so let's
One
say
way only.
let's say you're married, you would cheat on your wife.
To be
Yeah,
very,
he just said that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'll be very,
No,
I'll be very blunt about this. I think men are superior to women in almost every way. And since I think that comes with benefits, but it also comes with responsibilities. I also don't think women should work. I don't think women should be focusing on a career. I don't think they should be doing anything that takes away from the family. I think they should be focusing on that. But with that said, I do think that since men are superior and they're responsible, they also have authority. The problem is that women want a man to take care of them and be a leader and be competent, but they don't want to follow that man's rules, and I don't agree with that. So if we're going to go ahead and have chivalry, like she was saying, or a gentleman or whatever, I think that needs to go all the way and bring it to its logical conclusion, which is the man is the head of the household, he's a leader, he dictates how things goes, and in return, the woman has a carefree life where she can kind of enjoy her life, not have to worry about working, entering the workforce, stress, and the only stress she does have is kids. And I think if it's enough
That is a
children,
job.
the man should have a capability of maybe getting a nanny to assist her, or maybe bringing his mom into the play, because I do think that one parent raising the child is going to be very difficult. But, I'm a firm believer that if a man's going to have responsibility, he needs to have authority with that.
And he can afford it too.
Yeah.
So
that's what it is.
Sorry, a question for you. Is this religious based or is this just as you've grown up?
I mean, you can make the argument that that it comes from a religious base, but then if you just want to look at it strictly scientifically from a biological standpoint, it holds true as well.
I'm not asking. No, I'm just saying like based on like
Both.
Both.
I would say, yeah, it's a combination of. You could say it comes from like my religious background. I grew up in a Muslim household. Then as I got older, right? Because I used to think like, why do they have this belief system, etc. Then as I got older and I started like studying the differences between the genders from a psychological level and from a physicality level, I realized that men truly are superior to women in every way. So we shouldn't be listening to you guys.
How dare you? A relationship is not.
Well, then y'all shouldn't be listening to them either, period.
You said what?
Listen, I think that
Wait,
there's a
who's
lot of
them?
confusion because you are a polygamist and we grew up in a monogamous society, so that there are a lot of there's a lot of confusion. So I guess in
Well-
my mind, it sounds like you use the word cheating, but you're upfront about it.
Yes.
So you're not cheating. You're a polygamist and you're communicating with your partner
Oh,
who
she's
is
smart.
also okay with polygamy,
yeah.
right?
Well, I do want to state here, let's assume that I was a monogamist. I would still have the same worldview. I would still say that I'm superior to my
Polygamist,
woman
and you're
and she needs to listen
communicating
to
with
me.
your partner
Oh,
who
she's
is
smart.
also okay with polygamy,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I do want to state here, let's assume that I was a monogamist. I would still have the same worldview. I would still say that I'm superior to my woman and she needs to listen
I'm
to
not
me.
talking. I'm not even
Oh, so I have the
addressing.
same-
I'm not even addressing
But-
the superiority or anything like that. I'm just saying about the cheating because that's
But
when everybody
here's
leaned
the
forward and
problem.
was like,
Here's the problem. He's honest, but most men are not.
I'm aware. That's why I was just addressing him.
So cheating in general is going to be what he's covering because they won't tell you what he's telling you right now.
oh no, I'm speaking to him directly because I'm also a polygamist. That's what I'm also
Wait,
a
what?
polygamist.
Nick, wait.
What the T?
Wait.
I'm also a polygamist.
Wait,
alright,
I'm okay with dating multiple people and my partner dating multiple people if that's what we decide that we want to do.
Wait, so you want to date other niggas?
Sometimes, yeah.
Isn't that an open relationship?
That's, yeah.
No,
yeah.
no,
No, that's not an open
No, no.
relationship.
You can't call that polygamy.
That is polygamy.
That's being a whore.
No, that's
Wait,
polygamy. I'm not
keep
getting
thinking,
paid
what
for
if
sexual services.
But what if
That
guys
That is
do
being
it?
a whore.
That is
actually.
no, it's not. I'm not getting paid for sexual services. If I want to have two boyfriends and my boyfriend is okay with me having two boyfriends, that's polygamy. That's actually polyandry, but we'll leave that
Well,
right
he's
here.
a cock.
Is yours
Okay.
a religion?
I never said he likes watching me have sex with other men.
He might as well.
Okay, well, look, that's okay.
No, but I just wanted to know, like,
Yeah,
that's,
sure.
That's what I just wanted to know. I get that other men also feel as though like they're polygamous, but they'll lie and they'll finesse and whatever. But I was literally just directly asking. you for your opinion.
No problem. I mean, a lot of women ask me for my worldview on that, but that's where my worldview stems from is where I think men are better than women at in general.
What?
Now,
In general, like in everything in life, you think men are better than women?
it's a fact.
Everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
That
but
is
you
Okay,
can
so
go on.
may I ask you another question other than this one?
Sure.
Okay, so if you feel as though men are superior to women in every facet of life, then why would you
Let me be
entrust?
specific. I think men are superior to women in almost every realm of human endeavor that we can both compete in. So, for example, a lot of women try to say, well, you can't have kids. Well, we can't compete in that, so that doesn't count.
Oh, I
But when
wasn't
it
going to
talks-
even bring that up.
Yeah, but when it comes to like leadership, competency, genius levels, IQ, etc., men rule in
Love-
everything. is
Lovely.
what
I
mean.
wasn't going to talk about bearing children
Sure.
because that would be a nonsensical argument. I'm saying I was going to specifically ask about parenting because
Sure.
both genders can be parents.
Sure.
And if you believe that, then my follow-up question would be, then why are you entrusting the rearing of your children, the majority of it, to a woman, your partner? And then if you want to hire a nanny, I'm going to guess 9 times or 10 times out of 10, you would hire a female
Yeah.
because you wouldn't want another man raising your children.
Yeah.
So if you believe that, then explain the logic if you can.
Sure. Well, fathers actually make better parents for children than women do, and I'll explain. This comes from the book, The Rational Male, Book 4, where they compared single father households to single mother households, and the single father households did significantly better when it came to that child becoming an upstanding member of
citizen.
society.
Yeah.
So, though they might not get the same level of nurturing and caring, a father's job 9 out of 10 times is to be a disciplinarian. So they'll keep them from being degenerates. Now, with that said, well, does that mean they might have some instability and attachment issues as an adult? Sure, but at least it won't be criminals. So fathers 9 out of 10 times is to be a disciplinarian. So they'll keep them from being degenerates. Now, with that said, well, does that mean they might have some instability and attachment issues as an adult? Sure, but at least it won't be criminals. So fathers, statistically speaking, do better than mothers.
Okay, but that wasn't my question.
They're better parents. Is my point.
I understand that, but that wasn't my question. I firmly understand all of that, but I'm saying if you believe that, then why do you entrust the rearing of your children, the majority of it, to women?
Oh, because I'm there as a disciplinarian.
Okay.
Because I'm there as a disciplinarian. So, because I'm still involved, obviously. But if we were to compare apples to apples and put a single mom and a single dad, the single dad does better. So, the mom is there to like kind of accentuate the situation, but the father is the base. And this is something that we don't talk about in society because it's taboo to give men flowers and it's taboo to criticize women or criticize mothers.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's not the mainstream narrative, I know.
well,
Listen.
my question is because I saw this IG post and I wanted to know if anyone could relate to it. It was women are raising their sons to be soft, and then women are raising their girls to be more masculine. And
Yeah, a perfect example of this is the black community.
mhm.
The black community, if you look at like the crime rates, I mean, 60% of the crime is committed by 8% of the population, which are black men. So, why is that? Well, a lot of them grow up in single mother households.
Yeah, nigga.
So, I mean, I know, like I said, I know this is unorthodox information, doesn't get pushed out there much, but the truth is that men truly are better than women at almost everything. I know people don't like to hear that because we coddle women and tell them that they're the best, but yeah.
What?
I feel like it also depends on
We
the
don't-
individual, though. Like, even if you say that is an overall statistic
Sure.
or whatever you think, it does come down to the person, because there are a lot of men that aren't as good as me. Like, they can't do as much as I can. They're not as smart as I am. They're not as intelligent as I am. They can't do the things that a man should be able to do. If they are a man and they can do everything. And, they
And
are
what realm are
better
you
at
talking about
everything.
specifically that they can't do what you do?
they may not be able to make money the way I can. They may not be able to teach someone things like relationship advice, how to emotionally be intelligent, or how to build stability. You know, how you say you dominate, you teach them how to actually live in the world. You know, I came from a single parent household with my mom. My dad would not have been able to teach me the things that my mom has taught me. You know, they offer different things. My dad, the face. My dad may have taught me how to do things in the real world, yeah, but there's things that I wouldn't be able to imply also if my mom hadn't taught me those things as well. You know?
Yeah, I mean, you're using anecdotal experience to kind of prop up your argument. I'm just saying in general, men are better than
That's
women
what I'm
at most
saying.
things. So
that's why I said your overall statistically, but it does come down to the person.
yeah, but exceptions don't make the rules, right? Like if we take one girl, for example, that's brilliant, that is an engineer and has a higher IQ, that's still a minority of the population versus like there's a lot more men that will reach that pinnacle. For example, most geniuses are men, but most retards are also men. So men dominate
Right.
both sides of the spectrum when it comes to excellence and mediocrity. Most homeless people are men, you know?
Okay.
But the reality is the way we compensate for that is like we're also at the other spectrum of excellence as well. So whereas like women tend to be more in the middle.
Okay.
But,
Okay, that's fair.
you know, in general, you know, men are just better in everything. I mean, look, being honest, like if we had to rely on female ingenuity, we would still be rubbing sticks together for fires. Women don't invent anything. They don't really contribute to society like that.
Wait, you want to say something?
Nah, I'm just.
I
Let's
mean,
run through these questions.
Okay,
Mr.
listen.
Men are better than everybody. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. So go on.
I think that's even shown in the way that you guys may select. You guys aren't looking for a man on your level or below you. You guys are looking for a man who's taller than you, makes more money than you. I mean, your own attraction triggers look for and filter for superiority.
Who's y'all?
Women.
In general.
Okay.
So the things that you're attracted and aroused by literally are superior to you. That's what women look for. They don't look for an equal. So wouldn't it be fair to say that to mate and be able to procreate, men need to be superior, therefore they are, because we have a very strong incentive to become superior, because it literally relates to whether we get to procreate or not? Think about it. Human beings are put on here to procreate. Fair? Would you all agree with that?
sure,
Yes,
for the
yeah.
sake of the argument. Okay.
Yeah, human beings are put on earth to procreate, right? It wasn't until modernity that now we have all these hobbies that we can engage in. But since the beginning of time, when we're put on earth, is to procreate. So for men, for us to procreate, we have to be competent to a degree, as stated by many of you. Need to be able to lead. We need to be able to be tall. We need to be able to be strong to protect you in hunter-gatherer days, right? Okay. Now, what do men look for? Is she young and beautiful? We don't really screen for as much. So what ends up happening is few men have the requirements where they're actually superior, but a lot of women have the requirements that men are looking for because we don't look for a superior. We look for an inferior. We're okay with inferior. So what ends up happening is 90% of women since the beginning of time are procreated, whereas only 40% of men since the beginning of time procreated. So the fact that 60% of men don't get to procreate proves my point. Women disqualify most men because they're not superior.
Ta-da.
I think that speaks statistically, but personally, I can do everything for myself that a man could do for me.
Fair.
So-
So since you, okay, thank you for saying that. Since you could do everything for yourself that a man can do, wouldn't it make sense that a man needs to bring more to the table?
Right, yeah, I agree, but it also wouldn't be a problem.
Checkmate.
No, but it also
Do you just see
wouldn't,
what you did there?
It wouldn't be a
You triggered my trap card!
bro.
Finito.
No, because that would be nice, but that's not what I need. You know,
So what do you need then? What do you need from men?
I need that emotional intelligence. Like I said, I need loyalty. Like she said, you need. I don't feel like just
No,
because
there's no loyalty,
the
so
way-
I take that back, right? Because niggas be
But
cheating.
the
No,
way-
but he's saying like he said
I
earlier,
take
he's
that
like
back.
a homeless got to be loyal.
Well, the way
No,
that
I ain't
it
submitting to
doesn't
shit.
mean
But you
that.
don't want him though.
Starting today, anybody see me on this shit? I ain't submitting to nothing.
Yeah, well, I
He
mean,
said
hey,
it all.
I mean, you better well, man. You
So
feel
can
But the
I-
way y'all
So-
think,
Can I jump
So here's
in?
the thing.
So
I've
everybody-
and I talk about this ad nauseum on my book, Why Women Deserve Less. That since women, as a byproduct of feminism, get their own education, earn their own income, etc., what's happened is their standards have went up. If a woman could provide for herself what a man historically has provided, he needs to bring more to the table than what he used to provide
but
because you
you
can do it
weren't
yourself.
listening.
I'm listening very closely.
Like I said, that would be nice, but that doesn't mean that I'm not okay with a man that can do just as equal as I can do. I feel like I can protect myself. If a man can equally protect me as I can protect myself, that's fine. I don't need you to be big, bad, and strong. Like, that's not what I need. I don't need you to be the most handsome man or the tallest man on the planet. Like, that's not what I need. I would rather be with an emotionally intelligent and loyal, ugly ass man than a tall,
There's no
handsome,
loyal
rich
men.
man. Like,
Forgot about that.
my fault. My fault.
You know,
My
at this
fault.
point, we might as well just fuck some bitches.
Oh God! Like,
And
I
call
would
it a
rather
day.
be with an ugly man that's emotionally intelligent and treats me right than someone who thinks they have everything because they're tall and handsome and they have money. Like, because that's not what that might be what y'all think women look for, but that's not what we look for. And maybe that's why we get cheated on and y'all do the cheating. Because we look for the important stuff. We don't look for, oh, does he have money? Does he have this? Does he have? We don't look for that. And y'all can back me on that. I don't
know what's
personally
interesting?
look for that. But
Right? With women, right? Whenever we ask you guys what you like, you guys give politically correct answers. Like, he doesn't have to be handsome. He just got to be a good person. He's got to be emotionally intelligent, right? This buzzword that women like to use all the time. But what we found, right, when you poll women and what they're actually looking for, it's actually far more rigid than you guys like to admit, right? You guys are actually far more selective than you like to admit, and there's a bunch of social reasons for this, because if men knew the truth about what women actually look for, it makes you guys look bad, makes you guys look extremely surface level, because as much as women try to sit
Look at the double extra large wife. That was the phrase I heard from my former college friend the day before my wedding.
there and say that men are, what's the term, shallow, I would argue women are far more shallow than men, and you guys are far more rigid in your standards. For example, if a woman reaches a certain level, she wants the man at that level, if not better. And I would argue as you rise up the totem pole, you want better for yourself. Now, you're saying, oh, well, I don't need all these things because I could do it myself. But what you don't understand inadvertently is that as you can do more things for yourself, you are less likely to tolerate men that cannot do for yourself. Do you not understand that?
no,
because
yeah,
women,
and I get that, but that
because,
doesn't mean that I'm not okay.
Hold on. Because women, when you guys come into a relationship, the goal is to extract. This is the way it's been since the beginning of time. Women don't come into a relationship saying, oh, like, let me provide for this man. No, you guys come in, what can this man provide for me? And that's fine. That's a millennia biological. Because women, when you guys come into a relationship, the goal is to extract. This is the way it's been since the beginning of time. Women don't come into a relationship saying, oh, like, let me provide for this man. No, you guys come in, what can this man provide for me? And that's fine. That's a millennia biological, training. But for us, we come into the relationship understanding that we must provide value. This is why men are supposed to pay for the first dates. This is why men are supposed to plan things. This is why men are supposed to open a door. We have to provide value up front, or else we don't get a choice, or else we don't get a chance. You guys can kind of sit back and assess, is this guy worth it or not? And you guys go from there. And as you become more and more attractive and your standards go up, he has to do more to impress you. That's kind of what it is. And feminism has made it this way.
I do agree with you at some point on that, but not to your extreme. Because and it's not one or the other, because your extreme is very extreme. But, like, of course,
what part of it is extreme specifically, so I can address it?
You think that a relationship is supposed to be a dictatorship. That's not what a relationship is. If that was what a relationship was, then you are finding women who want to be dictated, who want to be controlled, who want your money. Like, that's what they want. But
you're a Christian, right?
I am.
You do understand that the Bible literally dictates a dictatorship within the Bible.
In itself.
Gotcha, bitch. In itself.
Okay, well,
you follow a religion.
Like
you follow a religion that literally says the man is the head of the household and is the leader.
And you know what? I agree. I do think that the man is head of household. I do, but that does not mean
that he doesn't take input in from his wife.
Excuse me.
But that also, hold on.
What's the hierarchy?
Because
what did God say?
Because I don't, you know what? No, both of y'all, I don't care what God said.
She don't care.
This is what. No.
Stop the fucking. Stop the show.
Hold on.
Chris,
what's up?
Rewind. You don't care what God said. What? You are not a Christian, my friend. You are. Everything else will be.
Guys, yo.
No, because I said I'm working on myself as a Christian. That does not mean anything.
Let's go to Rumble, guys.
And then we'll
go in.
Then we end the show.
Literally, bro, she told herself so bad.
I said that I'm a Christian. Y'all know I literally
expose your ass right now. Expose your ass.
Drop the Rumble link.
Y'all act
Let's go
like
Rumble,
men.
man.
Yeah.
Holy, you a
Yo,
real demon
nobody's
dog.
hungry in here. Like,
Holy.
are we almost done?
Yes.